Look, it's a good fight. I mean, I've said Pulev earned this mandatory position with what he's done since that Vladimir Klitschko lost many years ago. Is it at all hard for you, though? All that being said about focusing on Pulev, I mean, you versus Fury is like the biggest fight in British boxing history. It is a fight that will probably put 100,000 fans, God willing, in a stadium in the UK if you fight there. I mean, is it hard not to think about that stuff?
It is hard not to. But remember, what I've learned is that none of these guys live in my head no more. I just know that with all that stuff with Wilder and Fury last year, Fury was even, it was like Fury and Wilder came together to try and lock me out of the division. It was like both of them came together to say, I'm the weak link in the division. So back then I was always trying to back myself and be like, no, I'm this, I'm that. Fury's this and Fury's that. But now I don't really, when Fury's ready, he knows where to find me. When Wilder's ready, he knows where to find me. And I'm going to sit here and continue on my path until they're ready. As I said, Wilder last year we offered, Luis Ortiz last year we offered, Jerome Miller last year we offered, Dylan White last year we offered, Andy Ruiz last year we offered. That's a good roster of names that we tried to bring to the heavyweight division. We didn't fight, no, I'm not going to mention any other heavyweights' names to disrespect them, but the other heavyweights out there are fighting lower tier opponents, and then they're telling me that I don't want to challenge myself. So all I know is I know who I am. I like challenges, and I'm willing to fight these guys. So when these guys are ready, they know where to find me.
Explain to me the picture that surfaced over the summer of you and Fury crossing paths on vacation. How did that happen?
So it was like, in Europe, one of the countries were open, so you was allowed to travel there. So I took a break, 10-day break over to get some sun and to do some warm weather training, etc. So I'm walking down, it's like the port where all the shops are and stuff like that. And it's a one-way traffic, so cars are only allowed to go in one direction, but customers are allowed to walk up and down the street. And then I see some guy in a Range Rover, and then he's kind of wound down the window, when you're creeping up and the window comes down, he's like, Tyson Fury. He's like, how you doing, mush? So we had a quick 5-minute conversation. All respect, but you know what it is? If I go off of what I feel, the conversation is about we're gonna fight one day. So just I'm here, like I'm not going anywhere. That's the kind of conversation. So even though it's about respect and he's with his family, I'm with a couple of my cousins and my pals, it's just one of them things where I'm looking at him and he's talking to me as to say, one day we're gonna get it on.
You got to love the new narrative, though. A year and a half ago, Deontay Wilder was going to knock you out. Now Tyson Fury is going to outbox you. You clearly can't win.
No, I know it's weird, but I think I've come to learn this year. I've just got one of them faces that people love to hate. I swear, but understanding that has made me tougher. The stuff I went through last year with my loss, the stuff I went through with being black labeled and being called like someone who ducks the heavyweight division, and then Wilder admitting that we gave him an offer, it just made me realize that all I have to do is focus on myself. I don't worry about no one else. All I worry about is myself.
Before I let you go, you were, as you said, pretty well thrashed last year after the Ruiz loss. But, I mean, you took it like a man. You took it on the chin. You congratulated Andy Ruiz. You went back to work, and you beat him 6 months later. I'm wondering what your reaction was, kind of watching Wilder unravel over the last 6 months as he blamed everyone, cited conspiracy theories, said the referee was drunk. I mean, as you're watching that, what did you think?
He didn't even have it as tough as I did. I had like fighters telling me I should never take the immediate rematch with Ruiz. Fighters telling me that Ruiz is the next best thing coming out of America. Fighters telling me if I lose, I should retire. Andre Ward saying that, I'm just a jacked up heavyweight and I need to focus more on my boxing. I had a lot of people were cussing me about, and it's like they just ignored everything I'd done for the division, everything I'd done for the amateur scene as well. And it was just like, I'm just some heavyweight that just looks good, that is trying to fight. And I was like, wow, so this is what the division think of me. So he come from a place of, he's the hardest puncher since Ernie Shavers. He's this, he's that. He took his loss. No one really disrespected him and told him he should quit. No one said anything, but I think that he couldn't live with it himself. So he's now come out and like, that's just the way he's expressing it to himself in the world. And he just can't get over it. Like Tyson Fury hasn't been too vocal about it. The boxing greats and legends and icons of the industry haven't said anything too negative towards Deontay Wilder. It's only when he come out with all of his excuses that they're saying like, he's just talking too much. That's all they're saying about him. So he's lucky, but he just doesn't know how to handle the responsibilities of being a champion. And it just shows that when it's all said and done and he retires, it'll be interesting to see what path he goes down, because without boxing, he ain't got no backbone.
And just last question for you. You are defending your title against Pulev. The fight against Joshua, everybody's hoping is for undisputed. It's possible the WBO will say you got to fight Usyk next. Tell me what matters to you. Does it matter to you for that fight to be for undisputed, or are you willing to drop a belt to make that fight happen next?
In my heart of hearts, I don't think I'll drop a belt. I think I'll fight Usyk, no problem. But I feel like the governing body should overrule a mandatory for an undisputed fight if they could. So if they were keen to get this undisputed fight on, I'm sure they'll say, look, Usyk, right now we have the undisputed championship of the world fight coming together, which overrides a mandatory. So, but what I mean is that I've worked hard to try and put undisputed fights together last year. This year's been a bit up and down. I have to really focus on Pulev, and then hopefully next year we can then look, 2 years on from 2019, hopefully me and Fury can finally get it on, and hopefully the governing bodies will see and then say, we'll override the mandatory position so you can compete for the undisputed championship of the world.
I think you should fight for the Bridgerweight title, actually.
Is that the one in between?
It's the one in between. Yes.
Is that what they call it, the Bridgerweight?
Yes, it's so stupid.
That's the one that Wilder should fight for.
Everybody's turning it down, though. Michael Hunter said he wouldn't want to do it. Like, nobody wants to do it.
Sooner or later, someone will fight.
Oh, they're all dumb, though. It's such a stupid title. AJ, always great to talk to you, man. Looking forward to your fight on Saturday, December 12th. Catch that fight on Dazn. Good luck, man, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you very much. Bye.